The ornate butterfly fish is easily recognized by its color pattern. It usually has 6 oblique orange stripes on the body and black and yellow bars on the head. Between the eyes is a grayish triangular mark. The tail has 2 black bars. The ornate butterfly fish is found in tropical marine waters throughout the Indo-Pacific. The eclipse butterfly fish is a bright yellow butterfly fish with a dark blue-edged bar through the eye, a large blue-edged black spot on the posterior back portion, and a pair of pale blue diagonal stripes across the lower side. Note how the extended tubular mouth, a characteristic of butterfly fishes in general, enables this butterfly fish to poke about amidst the nooks and crannies of the coral in search of food. The eclipse butterfly fish is common on coral reefs to 100 feet, or about 30 meters. It feeds upon coral polyps, invertebrates, and algae. Total adult length is about 8 inches. A close relative of the eclipse butterfly fish is the oval spot butterfly fish, seen here. It is yellow with a large black mark on the upper side of the body. This species occurs in the eastern Indian Ocean and western Pacific. It eats coral polyps and small benthic invertebrates. The vagabond butterfly fish is found in reef areas including coastal reef flats within the reef, lagoons, and more exposed outer reef slopes. It can tolerate a variety of environmental conditions, such as turbid waters and freshwater plumes in the vicinity of the mouths of streams. This species is omnivorous, known to feed on algae, coral polyps, crustaceans, and worms. This egg-laying species is a monogamous fish that forms stable pairs with both pair members jointly defending a feeding territory against other pairs. However, they often accompany other species without being aggressive. Oval butterfly fish are a benthopelagic species that can be found in coral reefs throughout the tropical Indo-Pacific. This butterfly fish feeds almost exclusively on hard corals. Curiously, coral bleaching has been shown to have negative effects on the oval butterfly fish. Indeed, a 2004 study found a noticeable decline in the physiological condition of the oval butterfly fish before and immediately after a coral bleaching event, possibly leading to reductions in survivorship. The long-nosed butterfly fish occurs on coral reefs throughout the tropical waters of the Indo-Pacific. It is common in exposed seaward reefs, but also found in lagoon reefs. A benthopelagic species, it occurs solitarily or in small groups of up to 5 individuals. Adults usually occur in pairs. The long-nosed butterfly fish feeds on a wide variety of animal prey, including hydroids, fish eggs, small crustaceans, but it prefers tube feet of echinoderms, pedicelaria of sea urchins, and polychaetic tentacles. The triangle butterfly fish is native to the tropical Indian Ocean. It has a flat, triangular-shaped body, emphasized when the fins are fully spread, and an elongated snout. Its body is predominantly whitish in color, with many broad vertical gray chevron-shaped bands along the sides. Its mouth is orange, and there is a brownish-orange vertical band through the eyes. The triangle butterfly fish is found in lagoon and seaward reefs, where it is strongly associated with corals of the genus Acropora, especially staghorn corals. The lined butterflyfish is one of the largest species in the genus Chaetodon. It has a wide range from the Red Sea to South Africa and as far east as southern Japan and Hawaii. Lined butterflyfish may grow up to 30 centimeters or 12 inches in length, which among chaetodons is matched only by the saddle butterflyfish. The pennant coral fish is a member of the butterflyfish family, the Chaetodontidae. It is native to the Indo-Pacific area. This species can easily be confused with the quite similar schooling bannerfish. The main and visible differences are a longer snout for the reef bannerfish and spots on its snout are darker. Though resembling butterfly fishes, Moorish idols are actually not in the butterflyfish family. Instead, they are in their own family, the Zanclidae. The Moorish idol's unusual name was apparently given to it because, in some areas of Southeast Asia, fishermen have respect for these fishes, releasing them when caught and honoring them with a bow after their release. The Moorish idol has a wide range in the Indian and Pacific Oceans. They are found from the eastern coast of Africa between Somalia and South Africa, east to Hawaii and Easter Island. They are also found in the eastern Pacific from the southern Gulf of California to Peru, including many islands such as the Galapagos and Cocos Island. The Moorish idol lives at depths of 1 to 180 meters. That's about 3 feet to about 600 feet. Feeding upon a specialized diet of very small invertebrates, Moorish idols are famously very difficult to maintain alive for any length of time in aquariums. The fox-faced rabbitfish occurs in the far eastern Indian Ocean and in the western Pacific, from Indonesia to the Marshall and Gilbert Islands, north as far as Taiwan and south to New Caledonia and Australia. It is an omnivorous species, eating mostly algae and zooplankton. It may be territorial. Adults are normally found as either solitary individuals or, as seen here, in pairs that are associated with branching acropora corals. Like other anemone fishes, the spine-cheek anemone fish lives among the tentacles of the sea anemone, as can be seen here. This raises an interesting question. How do anemone fishes in general manage to survive among the stinging tentacles of the sea anemone? The currently accepted explanation is that anemone fishes are not stung because they have a protective agent in the mucus that coats their bodies. So this brings up an interesting question. How do anemone fishes build up this protective coating? There are two current theories. One is that during several hours of acclimatization swimming, the fish smears mucus from the anemone onto its body. In the same way that the mucus prevents the anemone from stinging itself, it will likewise protect the anemone fish. The second theory is that the mucus coating of the anemone fishes lacks the component that stimulates anemones to fire their nematocysts, or poison darts. Indeed, there is sufficient evidence to support both of these theories. For anemone fish species that live in several different species of anemones, the acclimatization theory may be more relevant. On the other hand, the natural mucus theory may be more relevant for anemone fish species that are host-specific. The range of the false clown anemone fish seen here includes northwest Australia, Southeast Asia, and the Ryukyu Islands of Japan. With regard to reproduction, the anemone fishes in general are characterized by being protandrous hermaphrodites, meaning that all individuals develop first into males and then possibly into females later. An adult male and female and several juveniles may reside together in an anemone. If the female were to be removed or die, The largest male would then become the female, with the larger of the immature fish transforming into a male. Females control males with aggressive dominance, thus controlling the creation of other females. The largest male will, in turn, dominate the juveniles and prevent the other males from spawning. Again, this mode of reproduction is characteristic of all of the anemone fishes, including all of the species that we have examined so far, including the spine-cheek anemone fish, the false clown anemone fish, the orange anemone fish, and the pink anemone fish seen here. The pink anemone fish has a very wide distribution throughout the Indo-Pacific. We can note that the relationship between anemone fish and their host sea anemones is not random and instead is highly nested in structure. In this regard, the pink anemone fish is a generalist, consistent with its widespread distribution. Indeed, of the 10 sea anemone species that host anemone fishes, the pink anemone fish is hosted by 4 of these. We see here a pair of 3-spot damselfish in the act of mating. Like many species of damselfishes around the world, 3-spot damselfishes are herbivores that cultivate a garden of their preferred algae. They carefully remove other algae and small invertebrates in order to encourage growth of their favorite species. The gardens serve 2 functions. 1, they provide a food source for the adult 3-spot damsels, and 2, they provide an area for females to spawn their eggs. Unlike many species of reef fishes that broadcast their eggs into the water above the reef, damselfishes stick their eggs to the reef surface and guard them until they hatch. Males endeavor to keep the highest quality gardens in order to have a greater chance at success in courting a female. Once a female decides to spawn her eggs in a male's territory, she sticks them to the algal fronds growing in his garden, and he immediately fertilizes them. Together, they aggressively defend the eggs from wrasses and other foraging predators that would love an easy meal of yolky fish eggs. Unlike in the closely related wrasses and parrotfishes, damselfishes do not change sex. They are born male or female and remain that way for their entire lives. Associated with coral reefs, the white-tailed dacilus is usually found in groups above acropora coral heads. As was the case in the 3-spot damselfish we just examined, males of the white-tailed dacilus may be aggressive against other fish while they tend eggs. The Borneo damselfish is found singly or in small schools, close to shelter of silty reefs with a scattering of algae and hard and soft corals. The neon damselfish is found throughout the Indo-Pacific. Adults can reach a maximum size of 9 centimeters, or 3.5 inches. They feed upon zooplankton and benthic algae. Juveniles school above soft corals, while adults are found in small or large aggregations over their favorite parts of the reef. The small yellow fishes seen here over this coral head are lemon damselfishes. They live in and around coral reefs and are found in small groups. Their diet consists mostly of algae, but planktonic invertebrates are also eaten. This fish forms pairs during the breeding season, the female laying her eggs on the substrate and the male guarding them and fanning them to keep them well aerated. The lemon damselfish has been shown to decline dramatically following coral bleaching events. The small blue damselfishes seen here are blue-green chromis. The color of this damselfish tends to be an iridescent apple green or light blue. It reaches a maximal length of 10 centimeters, or about 3.9 inches. This species is found in tropical and subtropical waters of the Indo-Pacific and also the Red Sea. Its diet consists of phytoplankton, zooplankton, algae, copepods, and amphipods. The scissor-tailed sergeant is a large damselfish. It earns its name from the black striped tail and sides, which are reminiscent of the insignia of a military sergeant. Similar to the scissor-tailed sergeant is the yellowtail sergeant, another large damselfish, growing up to 6.7 inches, or about 17 centimeters. Sergeants in general can form roving aggregations which are difficult for divers to approach. They are oviparous, with individuals forming distinct pairs during breeding and males guarding and aerating eggs. The Vanicoro sweeper inhabits shallow waters, normally no deeper than 100 meters, or about 330 feet. It is found in schools in and around sheltered rocky and coral reefs. It shelters under ledges, in caves, harbors, and shipwrecks during the day. It feeds on zooplankton, foraging high in the water column during the night. The panther grouper is in the family Serranidae, which also includes the anthias as well as the sea basses and groupers. Interestingly, recent genetic research has revealed that this species is missing genes related to immunity. This might predispose it towards being more susceptible to certain diseases. The panther grouper is widely distributed throughout the tropical waters of the central Indo-West Pacific region. It lives in clear waters and lagoons and seaweed reefs with a preference for dead or silty areas. They are found in a range of depth from 2 to 40 meters, that is 6.6 to 131.2 feet, but usually are found at depths less than 10 meters or 32.8 feet. The diet of the panther grouper is based upon small fishes and crustaceans, such as krill, shrimp, squids, and clams. The slender grouper is a medium-sized fish growing to a length of about 65 centimeters or 26 inches. The head occupies 40% of the total length, and its mouth is large, with the lower jaw longer than the upper jaw. It has a wide distribution in the tropical Indian and Pacific Oceans. The slender grouper is carnivorous, feeding mainly on other fish, such as goatfish, but possibly also on invertebrates. The yellow-edged leertail is normally observed in clear water areas of depths greater than 15 meters, or 49 feet. Showing a preference for islands and offshore reefs over continental shores, it feeds mostly on fishes, as well as on crabs, shrimps, and stomatopods. The coral grouper might just take top honors in being the most beautiful of all grouper species. Notably, the striking colors of the body include orange-red to reddish-brown with many small, bright blue spots that cover the head, body, and the dorsal, anal, and caudal fins. The coral grouper has a wide Indo-Pacific distribution. It occurs in clear water where there are coastal and offshore coral reefs. It prefers exposed rather than protected areas. Like many other grouper species, coral groupers are protogynous hermaphrodites. They change sex from female to male as they grow older and get larger. The humphead wrasse is the largest extant member of the family Labridae, the wrasses. Males, typically larger than females, are capable of reaching up to 2 meters and weighing up to 180 kilograms. That's just under 7 feet in length and a little bit over 350 pounds for the largest individuals. The humphead wrasse is long-lived, but has a very slow breeding rate. Individuals become sexually mature at 5 to 7 years and are known to live to about 30 years old. They are protogynous hermaphrodites, with some becoming male at about 9 years old. The factors controlling the timing of sex change are not yet known. At certain times of the year, adults move to the down-current end of the reef and form local spawning aggregations. Red-toothed triggerfishes are normally deep purple with bluish-green markings on their heads and glowing light blue margins on the tail lobes and fins. Just like other fish in the family Ballistidae, the triggerfishes, the tail is leer-shaped. The mouth of the triggerfish seems to be grinning, and it maintains tiny red teeth that are needle-sharp. These triggerfish are one of the more peaceful triggers in the family, but can become threatening with age and can perform a grunting type sound. The Titan triggerfish is a large species of triggerfish found in lagoons and at reefs to depths of 50 meters or 160 feet in most of the Indo-Pacific, though it is absent from Hawaii. With a length of up to 75 centimeters or 30 inches, it is the largest species of triggerfish in its range. We can note that the stone triggerfish, Pseudoballistes naufragium, from the East Pacific is the largest of all triggerfish species. Though Titan triggerfishes are usually wary of divers and snorkelers, females can be territorial and aggressive around their nests during the reproduction season, which occurs for about a week in each month, either after the full moon or new moon, depending on the population. The nest is placed in a flat sandy area and is defended vigorously against any intruders. The territory around the nest is roughly cone-shaped, and divers who accidentally enter it may be attacked. Divers should swim horizontally away from the nest rather than upwards, which would only take them further into their territory. Although bites are not venomous, the strong teeth can inflict serious injury that may require medical attention. The yellow margin triggerfish is found in coastal tropical waters and reefs of the Indo-Pacific and the Red Sea south to Natal, South Africa. This triggerfish attains a maximum length of 60 centimeters or 24 inches. Yellow margin triggerfish is oviparous, spawning in pairs. Among Indo-Pacific triggerfish species, top prize for the most beautiful might just go to the clown triggerfish. Although triggerfish can be notoriously shy and difficult to get close to for a good photo shoot, let's see if we can't approach this clown triggerfish very slowly with our camera lights on, so as to bring out its colors really well. Maybe it won't swim away. It's cooperating remarkably well so far. This is unusual. Clown triggerfish and most other triggerfish species are very easily frightened away. Note the cleaner wrasse attending to the clown triggerfish. Oh, I think it got scared away now. I'm ready for this clown triggerfish to take off. Look at the dorsal fin. The reason triggerfishes are called triggerfishes is because the dorsal fin can be triggered upward. This enables them to lock themselves into coral crevices, for example, to hold position. And we see that the cleaner wrasse, which is removing parasites from the skin of the clown triggerfish, has once again returned and is tending to this clown triggerfish. who is enjoying being cleaned by the cleaner wrasse. The clown triggerfish can attain a length of up to 50 centimeters or 19.7 inches. The clown triggerfish is widely distributed throughout the tropical and subtropical waters of the Indian Ocean and the western Pacific Ocean. Clown triggerfish feed on a varied diet of different benthic organisms, including mollusks, echinoderms, and crustaceans. The black-patched triggerfish is native to shallow areas of the Indo-Pacific, where it ranges from the Seychelles and Chagos Islands to Japan, Vanuatu, and Australia. I tried very hard to get close to this attractive species so as to get some decent video footage. What you see here is about as good as I could get. They certainly are elusive, always seemingly very aware of a diver's or snorkeler's presence. As can be seen here, the black-patched triggerfish favors areas with seaweeds, corals, seagrasses, sandy flats, and stones. While diving the famous Melissa's Garden dive site of Raja Ampat, my wife and I were fortunate to come across a pair of yellowtail filefish that were remarkably cooperative in displaying themselves. Although filefishes are in the same order as the triggerfishes, that is, the Tetrodontiformes, they are not in the same family. Filefishes are in the family Monacanthidae. Like the yellow-tailed filefish we just saw, the scrawled filefish is also a member of the family Monacanthidae. This very large filefish, attaining lengths of 110 centimeters or 3.6 feet, occurs circumtropically, as it can be found in tropical waters from the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Pacific Ocean. It is omnivorous and feeds upon a large variety of foods, including small crustaceans, algae, gorgonians, sea anemones, tunicates, fire coral, seagrasses, and hydrozoans. Here we see another filefish. I could not determine the species of this one. Perhaps it was a juvenile of the yellowtail filefish that we just saw. Triggerfishes, filefishes, and pufferfishes are all in the same order, Tetrodontiformes, and here we see the star pufferfish. The star pufferfish is a very large pufferfish that grows up to 120 centimeters or 47 inches in length. Its body is oval-shaped, spherical, and relatively elongated. The skin is not covered with scales, but is prickly. This species is found in tropical and subtropical waters from the Indian Ocean and Red Sea as far as Polynesia, southern Japan, the western, northern, and eastern coasts of Australia, and Lord Howe Island. This pufferfish is active during the day, that is, diurnal. It is mainly solitary and defends a territory. Notably, the star pufferfish contains a highly toxic poison, tetrodotoxin, in its ovaries and to a lesser extent its skin and liver, which protects it from voracious predators. The black-spotted pufferfish is a rather small-sized fish, which grows up to 33 centimeters or 1 foot in length. Its body is oval-shaped, spherical, and relatively elongated. The skin is not covered in scales, just as was the case with the star pufferfish that we just considered. This species is found in tropical waters from the Indian Ocean to the central islands of the Pacific Ocean, roughly equaling the Indo-Pacific except the Red Sea. It lives close to external reef slopes and lagoons from the surface to 25 meters or 82 feet in depth. And like the star pufferfish, the black-spotted pufferfish also holds the deadly poison tetrodotoxin, which protects it from predators. Like all pufferfishes, the black-spotted pufferfish can inflate their bodies by swallowing air or water. They do this when they are threatened. The map pufferfish is typically found in tropical and subtropical waters from the Indian Ocean to the western Pacific Ocean. And like the two pufferfish species we just examined, the map puffer also contains the deadly tetrodotoxin. Despite being highly poisonous and deadly, the map pufferfish can be found both in the aquarium trade and certain food markets, especially those of Japan, where it is called fugu. And in Japan, only licensed chefs are allowed to prepare fugu. To obtain their license, chefs must complete a rigorous training program, usually lasting at least 2 years, and an apprenticeship under a qualified chef. The toby is a small puffer species found on lagoon and seaward reefs, where it thrives among coral structures and feeds on small invertebrates and algae. The spotfin porcupine fish is a medium-sized fish which grows to about 91 centimeters, or about 35 inches. The average size is mostly about 40 centimeters, or about 16 inches. In case of danger, like the pufferfishes, the porcupine fish can inflate itself by swallowing water to deter the potential predator with its large volume, and it can raise its spines, which also deters the predators. The spotfin porcupine fish is circumglobal in distribution, found in tropical and subtropical waters. The porcupine fish's diet is based on sea urchins, gastropods, clams, and crustaceans. This fish is solitary except during mating periods, and it has a nocturnal activity with a maximal activity at sunset and sunrise. The black-blotched porcupine fish is found in the tropical and subtropical waters of the Indo-Pacific on coral and rocky reefs and in inshore waters. It grows to about 65 centimeters, that is 26 inches in length, but the average observed size is more likely to be in the 45 centimeter or 18-inch range. Like the spotfin porcupine fish that we just considered, the black-blotched porcupine fish can also inflate itself by swallowing water to deter the potential predator with its large volume and its raised spines. The East Indian soldierfish are members of the suborder Holocentroideae, which includes the squirrelfishes and soldierfishes. As members of this suborder are generally or entirely nocturnal, they have relatively large eyes. During the day, they typically remain hidden in crevices, caves, or under ledges. The East Indian soldierfish swims in small aggregations in current-prone channels at moderate depths. The crescent-tail bigeye is uncommon but widespread in the Indo-Pacific, from the Red Sea and southern Africa to French Polynesia, southern Japan, and Australia. It has been also reported from Easter Island. This is a reef-associated species. living in tropical marine waters on outer reef slopes and rocky areas and in lagoons at depths of 8 to 250 meters, but most commonly from 30 to 50 meters. That's about 100 to 160 feet deep. The body of the crescent-tailed bigeye goes through various phases of color, which may vary from orange to entirely red or entirely silver or silver with broad 6 red bands. The saber squirrelfish is the largest squirrelfish in its range, and it can reach up to 51 centimeters or 20 inches in length, and 2.6 kilograms or 5.7 pounds in weight. It is a widespread species throughout the tropical Indo-Pacific from the Red Sea and Indian Ocean up to Hawaii, Japan, and southern Australia. This squirrelfish can be found in tropical waters on coral reefs from shallow water to a depth of 120 meters, or 390 feet. The common lionfish is a tropical species found widely throughout the Indo-Pacific. It has also famously become an introduced pest species in parts of the western Atlantic and Caribbean. The species also famously has extremely venomous fin spines. All 13 dorsal fin spines, 1 pelvic spine, and 3 anal fin spines are venomous. The pectoral and caudal fins are not toxic because they lack the spines. When disturbed by a diver, the common lionfish often makes little effort to swim away. Instead, it points its dorsal fin spines towards the intruder. Here we see a lionfish that has had quite a bit of tissue damage done to its skin. It may have been in the mouth of a moray eel and finally gotten free of that terrible predicament. In any case, we hope that it heals up. Lionfishes are relatively intelligent as fishes go, and we can see that this lionfish, who resides on the house reef of the resort we stayed at, has learned to use the night lights of divers for catching other fish. Like the common lionfish that we just saw, the spotfin lionfish is also a nocturnal hunter. It is most active just after nightfall. It spends the day hiding in crevices and caves facing inwards with its venomous spines pointing backwards. The spotfin lionfish preys mainly on crustaceans and small fishes, including juveniles of their own species, which are approached slowly using their undulating fins. Along with the lionfishes we just considered, the tasseled scorpionfish is a member of the order Scorpionfishes. This also includes the rockfishes and stonefishes. The tasseled scorpionfish is a solitary species. It is a nocturnal ambush predator feeding on fishes and crustaceans. When in shallow waters, swimmers may accidentally tread on them, which may cause very painful injury from the venomous spines. This species has unique vibrant orange colors and markings that allow it to camouflage itself well in between the rocky reefs. In general, the sting caused by the dorsal spines of a scorpionfish are much more painful than those caused by the spines of a lionfish. Taenianotus is a monotypic genus of the marine ray-finned fish belonging to the family Scorpionidae, the scorpionfishes. The leaf scorpionfish is about 10 centimeters or 3.9 inches long, fully grown. Their color varies from green, red, pink, brown, ochre, and yellowish to a ghostly white. This fish is almost as flat as a leaf and resembles a leaf in many other ways. Notably, the venom of the leaf scorpionfish is considerably weaker than that of the lionfish, or the scorpionfishes, or the stonefish, which we will look at soon. Along with the lionfishes and scorpionfishes that we just considered, the reef stonefish is another member of the order Scorpionfishes. However, the reef stonefish is easily the most venomous fish in the world. It has 13 stout spines in the dorsal fin which can inject a highly toxic venom. The venom causes intense pain and is believed to have killed many Pacific and Indian Ocean islanders. Indeed, stonefishes are considered to be the most dangerous venomous fishes in the world, and their venoms have both cardiovascular and neuromuscular toxicity. Stonefish venom is a mix of enzymes and non-enzymatic proteins. The mechanisms of action of stonefish venom is not completely understood. Appearing very much like an algae or coral-covered stone, this species is extremely well camouflaged and often will not swim away when disturbed, but rather it will erect its venomous dorsal fin spines. The reef stonefish eats fishes and crustacea. It usually waits for prey to swim past, and then strikes with incredible speed. High-speed camera equipment is required to record the feeding of this species. The banded frogfish is a benthic or bottom-dwelling species. It is reddish to brown with pale blotches over the body and tail, and tassels over the face and body. The banded frogfish occurs in coastal reefs and among mangroves, sometimes in crevices or caves. It occurs in estuaries and is fairly common in tidally influenced regions. The banded frogfish conceals itself in mud or debris and waits for prey to come by. It thus ambushes prey in much the same manner as the scorpionfishes and stonefishes that we just considered. It is one of the few batrachoided frogfishes encountered by divers searching crevices of reefs, but it is easily missed. Note that wounds from the venomous spines of this species are very painful.